Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
These marriages are not perfect, but all in all, they seem to work. Marriage is an institution for grown-ups.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
There are no bosses in a modern marriage. He knows he's lucky to have a wife.
Hello everybody, it's episode 54 of Husband and Wife Sentenced to Life with me, Simon.
And me, Laura.
Bit more pizzazz when you do it if you want me to be happy.
And me, Laura.
Not normal voice,
right.
But a bit more pizzazz. With me, Simon.
And me, Laura.
That's it.
Right.
It's not hard, is it? You've done drama.
Thanks.
It's, what day is it today? Have you known what day it is all week?
No, but I can't believe how slow the weeks are going.
Yeah.
Like...
Changed, hasn't it?
Oh.
It's Tuesday the 12th of October.
Yeah.
So that's hump day, midweek. And it's 37 degrees at the moment, highs of 39 today. It's just sunny all the time now, isn't it? But first thing in the morning, manageable.
Is it?
Walked Charlie this morning. You and I kind of weren't talking, so I took him on a long walk. And manageable.
I've not made it out for a morning run yet.
I know you, I mean, we're not sleeping properly at the minute, but I wish you'd get up and come for a walk with me at mornings because you'd like it now.
Well, who's going to sort Betsy out in the mornings if I do that?
Honey,
Yeah,
time
right.
she took some responsibility.
Before we start, on the last podcast...
Have I said it's episode 54? I think I have. Yeah, go on, carry on, last podcast.
You said if anyone messages you to ask how you are, you're going to block them.
What I didn't want is the backup messages.
Right.
And I want to thank everybody because that podcast went to number 22 in charts, right? Which means a lot of people listened to it and nobody messaged me.
Okay.
So people heeded the warning.
And I didn't even want that podcast to go out.
No, you didn't actually, did it? But you know what I thought? That's the second one we've recorded and we wouldn't have put out. And I thought, it's going to go.
Well, anyway, 2 blokes have messaged you and said, how you doing? Now...
Neither had listened to the podcast.
Well, at the time, you thought, hey, they're messaging me.
Only the second one.
But in fairness to them both, neither of them had heard the podcast, so you haven't blocked them.
No, but I think one of them messaged me because it were Mental Health Day.
Yeah.
And the other one messaged me because they'd seen me tweet out that we'd done a podcast and it was very depressing. So I'm glad people didn't. And obviously these things don't just go away. I don't think much has changed really mood-wise, but I'm not going to try not to be on too much of a downer today. However, first story of episode 54, now this is partly the reason we were so cross that day. Well, yes, we're depressed.
I wasn't cross about the AC. It was annoying. You were cross about it.
Yeah, because I have to sort it out, and if it goes over a certain... Here's what happens in Dubai. Your contract says if anything costs more than 500 dirhams to repair, which is just over 100 quid,
yeah,
it's the landlord's responsibility. Yeah. Landlady in our case, who's wonderful, by the way.
Yeah.
She's been great with us. Probably, I'm going to say, not even probably, certainly the best landlord we've ever had.
We are lucky, yeah.
Right? She's great. However,
they're hard to find. They're hard to find.
Yeah, it's the first one we've ever had who's not done us over a barrel.
Yeah.
So, I don't like sending her the message. I'm too British. I don't like sending her a message saying, sorry about this, but we've had this done. You've got to pay for it. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, you do struggle with that. And
struggle.
And it's too late in the day for me to now be that person because you've always had the communication with her. So if I suddenly messaged her now, it would seem weird. So it has to be you.
Yeah. So that's partly the reason I get more cheesed off about it than you do. And also I was just having a bad time. I'm having a bad time at the moment. So it's been over a week since we'd recorded that last podcast. I keep saying about doing it. We recorded one. We thought it were too miserable. Turns out we're about half as miserable as the one we put out. And so I was against the limit. I had about 45 minutes when we started that podcast, or when we were going to start it.
Yeah.
And then we sat in the bedroom, and the AC broke.
Yeah.
And literally 2 days before, we'd had Honey and Betsy Pearl's AC fixed.
Yeah.
Which we've had fixed about every 3 months. So yeah, really frustrating. That meant we had less time to record. We go downstairs. Just as we're about to hit record, Honey comes downstairs and says, "Oh, my aircon's broke again." So
hers won't even switch on.
That's the entire upstairs of the villa with no AC.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like, I'm thinking, right, that's 2 I've got to get repaired. It's bound to be over the limit. I'm going to have to contact the landlady. She must dread getting my text. It's always horrible. And the other thing is, there is a big AC job. Right, you can keep getting them to come out. You can keep getting them to come out, and you can keep getting them to do a bit of cleaning. But the ACs need servicing properly every what?
3 months, I think it is.
No.
The big one. The big one. I think
annually.
Maybe annually. Maybe 6 months. I'm not sure.
I don't think we've ever had that done.
We have.
Because no, because it costs 2,000 dirhams a unit, right? So we have never had that done. We've had the cleaning. I'm not talking about the cleaning.
Yeah, no. I know there's a big clean. I'm sure we've had it done.
There's the deep clean where they go deep. They get their hands right in, and they get your clungy bits, and they clean it out.
We all need a deep clean, don't we? From time to time.
We all need the handwriting. So I don't think we've ever had that done. So basically, I'm thinking, because every time they come, they go, "We've fixed it, but we think you need to get this done." And I always go, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, you're going to need a new one of those.
So I'm double angry because at last podcast, because I had the thought of that. So yes, I am more angry to you. And time's running out. I've got to go and get Betsy.
And as it was, I moved the mattresses downstairs.
Yeah. So I came back from that pickup. No AC upstairs. Luckily, the AC downstairs. Our AC downstairs does not matter what temperature you put it on. It's like being in Switzerland.
Yeah.
It's like being in Finland. It's freezing, which is great. I'd rather have it freezing.
The funny thing is, we put it on 24, 25, which is a summer's day in UK. So
we had a square of mattress on the floor. Me, you and Betsy slept on the floor. Honey slept on the sofa.
She was getting annoyed at me and you. It was funny.
Yeah.
It's like sleepover with your parents. Honey's getting annoyed. You two are being too noisy.
Loud whisperers.
We weren't doing anything.
You know what really turns me on? A big AC bill.
Yeah.
A big AC bill to me is like listening to Barry White.
So she moved onto a further away sofa because she was getting annoyed at her parents, which made me chuckle that she, the child, the teenager, is getting annoyed that we're keeping her up.
And we were on a little chat we were having, and it were about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and then, because I'd brought 2 single mattresses down, you're on one, Betsy's on the other. Oh, and Betsy is one of those kids that wriggles. So I kept trying to get on the mattress with her, and then she'd smack me in the face, then push me. So I was in the crack.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I tried to get on your mattress with you, and you're like, what? And I'm like, move up.
Because you did a move.
Oh.
I had to get up and do something, and when I came back, half my mattress had gone. And I'm like...
I know, but I kept landing on the crack, and I was getting so annoyed. I was getting no sleep.
I know, but why put Betsy on the mattress in the first place? Betsy fits on any size sofa.
I know, but it was like a sleepover to her. She was loving it.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, but once she's asleep, you can just chuck her up
Next door's cat decides to come in the house.
Big fight.
Which
happens
cats.
every night, but we're upstairs so we don't hear it. Last night, our heads were, 6 feet away from the...
Yep. So...
The cat flap.
That's when I got angry. Not when the AC broke, but in the middle of the night when I can't get to sleep because I've got no room, and then the cats start screaming.
Yeah.
And
it was an awful night.
But yeah.
I was awake most of the night. I listened to 3 full-length podcasts, so that's 3 hours, and a 3-hour radio show. It was Sean Keaveney, who I know you're not so keen on, but I love him. And he's left 6 Music now, and his last show got deleted from 6 Music that night. So it was my last chance ever to hear it, and I knew it was a really emotional show. We'd been there, 13 years, and I really wanted to hear it. And a few of our friends have listened to it and said it's brilliant. So I'm laid there on the floor listening to that. So it was a bad night, very little in the way of sleep. Should say now we're recording in the car, by the way. We've just dropped the little princess, Betsy Pearl. She's happy today. She's got music star at school.
Yep.
She showed us a really funny video of them playing Frere Jacques on xylophones, which was beautiful.
Yeah, they did it in the round.
Really cute. So she's doing her performing arts now. And normally, we've got 45 minutes, we'd normally go in and have a coffee in the shops here. The shops that I like to call Cat Stevens shops.
Yeah, you're always on the lookout, aren't you?
Well, Cat Stevens lives here. The famous... This is not another Cat Stevens with the same name, it's the real one. He lives round here.
And one of the people that messaged is probably inside there having a coffee, thinking you're avoiding him.
Well, when in fact... No, I'm only joking. So we were sitting here once and Cat Stevens walked past. He lives in Dubai. And we were very excited because we both love him. Anyway, we're in the car, so you might be able to hear the hum of the AC. I put a vote out asking people, have they ever gone a year without their AC breaking in Dubai? Have you ever gone a year without your AC breaking?
I bet that was 100%, wouldn't it?
Well, I think some people are bullshining. Only 60% of people are currently saying they've never gone a year.
No way.
40%.
No, I'm not believing that.
I think it's twaddle.
Yeah. Even new villas, nah.
No way. I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that vote. I put a vote on the other day and I asked you about this on one of the recordings that didn't make it online. What's worse, toddler tantrums or moody teens?
I said, or I think, teenagers, because the toddlers, whilst I think it's annoying for other people to hear toddlers screaming, I think, well, no, actually, I think a lot of people are actually quite sympathetic when they see somebody with a toddler throwing themselves like on the floor in a supermarket.
Yep,
or
I agree.
But I think you can pacify the kid quicker. Like, you know, give them some sweets, give them an iPad, all those things they tell you not to.
Smack them round the head.
Yeah, all the things they tell you not to do, but
yeah,
it's over pretty quick most of the time. Whereas teenagers, it can go on all evening, it can go on all week, you don't know what you've done wrong, and then when you try and say something, you make it worse.
It goes on for years.
Oh, and then you think you've not done anything, and you'll say something like, oh, can you just take your cup into the kitchen?
Oh my God! It's like that, isn't it?
And you know that thing, that Kevin and Perry thing, when they turn 13, and it's like, whoa!
Yeah. Actually real.
It's so real. It's so real. It literally happens overnight. It's bizarre. So yeah, teenagers are worse.
And everyone, you treat it like it's some joke, like when it happened to Leo. Oh, look, it's like Kevin and Perry. It's not funny, because they become assholes.
They do. I love them.
No, you don't stop loving them.
But I would take me back to when they're 2 or 3.
Any day of the week. You should, you know, at that age you should be able to palm them off, like give them to an orphanage or something. I don't know. Just get the good years. But then
when
about 25 they come back round.
It takes them to go. Yeah. I wasn't very nice to my parents, was I?
Speaking of kids, we had an interesting email from school, didn't we?
Yes, I've been waiting for it, to be fair.
Have you? Did you think it were coming?
I said the teachers are going to end up talking about this. So the Squid Game email.
Now this is the TV show that we've recommended, that was recommended to us by Betsy Pearl, by the way.
Well, yeah, and she didn't know what it was.
Oh, but she's in England, last week in England, we've got to watch this, Daddy.
But she's
watch it?
She's quite up on like social media, not up on social media, but you know,
what's going on?
Yeah, and
she knows what's going on.
And obviously having older brothers and sisters, and they've talked about it, and she's like, oh, we've got to watch that Squid Game. Well, anyway,
we put it on thinking it was a kids' TV show. 15 minutes in, 300 people get murdered.
And I'm saying, Betsy, I don't think you should be watching this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the email comes out. Could you stop your children talking about Squid Game? Could you have a talk with them? Can you stop them playing the Squid Game games in the playground?
Age inappropriate.
Like already, the kids are talking about getting Squid Game Halloween costumes. So then, last night. Now, we weren't particularly talking last night.
No.
My phone buzz.
Yeah.
The class WhatsApp group. They went off on one about Squid Game.
I hate not being on that class WhatsApp group.
I had to
This is the first I'm hearing about this because you were in a mood last night.
So, right, the first thing that goes up is a dad post a picture of his son's made Squid Game card, you know, with the 3 symbols on.
That's nice.
It was actually really artistic.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, he's like, my son's made this. Then there's mum's going, what is this Squid Game? I don't even know what it is. Then somebody else said, I watched a trailer. It's so violent and disgusting. No way am I watching this. My daughter's been asking, no way. Somebody else saying, I think it's this, that, the other. And I just wanted to say, hey guys, yeah, it's not really for your kids, but you guys should watch it. It's
good.
Brilliant series. I had to stop myself from saying it because I thought,
once you start,
if I say that, I am the outcast of the parents there, aren't I? But I have seen genuinely on, like, you know, these British mum Facebook groups, when somebody recommends a new TV show, I have seen plenty of mums recommending the Squid Game. So I'm amazed that so many people on this WhatsApp group had never heard of it or have not even watched it.
I mean, it's the biggest show on Netflix.
Yeah.
They're saying it's the biggest show of all time on Netflix, right? And yes, I would say it's not appropriate. I think mid-teens you're probably cool, but younger than that, it's probably age inappropriate.
I think it's a 15 plus.
Yeah.
I think it's the recommended age.
And you know, 15 films at the cinema, you were watching them when you were 10.
Yeah. I think, look, and funny enough, I did say you're going to have kids reenacting the games.
Yeah.
But then they've not got guns, and I know in some.
But here's the problem. No spoiler, but the games within Squid Game are children's games.
Yeah.
So basically, it's children's games, but you're at risk of dying if you don't play them, right? So that bit of it, but the games themselves, the first game is what we used to call...
Well, it's like, what's the time, Mr. Wolf, or somebody else...
What time is it, Mr. Wolf? Yeah.
Somebody else said Granny's footsteps or something.
So the one where somebody's at the end facing the wall, and you go, what time is it, Mr. Wolf? And they go, it's 3 o'clock, and you can run forward 3 paces or something.
And if you're caught moving... Yeah, you're out.
On Squid Game, it's called red light, green light, but it's the same game. And the kid at the end faces the wall, says green light, and you can run, and then they turn around really fast and say red light, and if you're caught moving at all, then you're it, or you're out.
Quite a fun playground game.
Every game in it is a tug of war. They're just basic games, really. So stopping the kids from playing basic games in the yard, you know, the happy slapping thing at the beginning, yes, they shouldn't be doing that.
But it's like, talking about that, do you remember when You've Been Tangoed?
Yeah, well, that kicked off, didn't it?
Yeah. And
the original tango ad.
Because people were slapping each other around the ears.
Yeah.
And then there's been, what was the other one? Not marbles. That was back in the olden days, wasn't it? Marbles, but
marbles was
fidget spinners. I think they got banned.
Clackers. No, clackers got banned.
Did they?
Yeah. Conkers got banned, hasn't it?
Anything that becomes popular, seems Pokemon cards. I think they got banned. Yeah. And then, what's that app? That app where you used to find people in the
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that got banned.
Yeah.
Anything like that. And I get it. I get
Fun Police.
Yeah. Squid Game obviously is very violent and stuff.
But the games themselves aren't.
But yeah, no, the WhatsApp group. It went off.
Yeah. It's like, you know that Pringles thing, once you pop you can't stop, on the parents' WhatsApp groups, except it's not crisps inside the tube, it's pillocks. It's like social media all over, isn't it? So that's the fun. We had this Squid Game email. Other than that, it's only been a couple of days, hasn't it?
Well, I had a nice day today. I did something which I don't normally do.
Yeah? On your own?
Huh?
Were you fully charged from last night?
Yeah, I don't need you anymore.
Anyway, what have you done today that's been nice?
Well, I've been a Dubai mum today.
Yeah.
My friend Shelley and I, we went and had our nails done.
She had a milestone birthday while we were in England, and if you remember, we said on the podcast we did her a little party. They were taking their son to Bristol at the same time as we were.
Yeah.
And we did her a little, not a jelly and ice cream party, we put a spread on.
Well, here's the funny thing. She said to her husband Dick, she said, I
don't think you should be calling him that. I don't like that.
All right. Our friend Richie. Anyway, she said to him, Laura's taking me to get my nails done.
Yeah.
And he's like, what for? She said, because, you know, for my birthday treat. And he went, yeah, but your birthday was last month, so...
What's the cut-off?
Well, now...
Is there a cut-off? I mean, when you said you were doing it with her, we were arguing yesterday, so I thought there's no point me chipping in, because if I chip in...
No. We were right to the end of September. We were in the UK. I said to her, when we get back to Dubai, I'm going to get you something. Now, her children have gone back to school, our children have gone back to school, so, you know, it needed a week or two for us to settle back in.
Yeah.
But basically, what she was saying was, in her husband's eyes, her birthday was on that particular date. That's it. Cut off at midnight on that day. You don't have any more birthday after that.
I heard somebody talking about this, and somebody said, if you're older than, not even 18, if you're older than 15, and you're still doing this thing where, I'm having a birthday weekend, I'm having a birthday week. I used to work with a woman who, this was not even anywhere near the most annoying thing about her, announced she was having a birthday month.
Oh, no. Now, I get that.
I'm all for what you've done, right?
No, and that's different. Like, I felt bad because it was a big birthday.
It is a big birthday.
And she didn't get to have it as a big birthday because she was dropping her son off at uni, so she was having a hard time.
Yeah.
And, you know...
I mean, we actually did go above and beyond it. We spent quite a bit on food. We did though.
Yeah, but I you know...
I would say that would have, you know...
Well, I don't think her plan was to go to Las Vegas for her 40th, so she didn't get a wish.
But that's not our fault.
No, it's not. But, you know, anyway... So we went for her birthday and then we had nails done and a nice little coffee after. So I've had a nice day. I feel quite revitalised.
What's the male equivalent to that?
I don't know, cinema,
strippers.
pub. Why strippers? How is...
I'm joking.
How strippers?
I've never been to strippers in my life.
Yeah, but I can't...
I'm just asking you, what's the male equivalent to you going and getting your nails done?
Well, you could go and get your nails done.
No, what is the male equivalent? Women do that here all the bloody time. What's the male equivalent?
Probably cinema for you. Pub.
No, I'm not you can't count me as a man in many ways.
Well, maybe golf. Round of golf and a beer in the 18th hole afterwards, or whatever you want to say.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, it is golf.
It's rubbish, that,
Dubai people, it's golf, isn't it? That's their. Oh, I'm going to go and meet so and so for a round of golf. Women, they do the coffee. They do.
Mike, you know what I'd like? The cash equivalent to going to. How much was it? Be honest. All in, the nails, the coffee. What's the total price?
Well, she bought the coffee.
That's what I asked. I asked the total price. What have you spent today, all you?
Probably 700 with the coffee.
700 with the coffee.
Yeah.
Right. All in.
Yeah.
Right.
So 350 each. So that's what. 70. No.
That's 700.
70 quid. So
350 each is 700. Stop doing daft maths.
No. I'm not about English.
I'm not doing English. I'm trying to get to a point.
Go on.
So that's 700, yeah? With the coffee?
Yeah.
What's the 350 then?
Each.
Right. So that's 700 dirhams. On my day when that happens, I'd rather you just be... You said to me, go off on your own and spend 700 dirhams.
Well, 350.
No. 700 dirhams got spent, yeah?
Yeah.
Between the two of you. On the day that's mine, I don't want to meet up with anybody.
Yeah.
I just want 700 dirhams to go and buy whatever I want with that.
Yeah, but if I'd gone on my own, I would have only spent 350. But
you would never go on your own, so 700 got spent.
No, I have been, and I
No,
would.
not on an occasion. I'm on about a bloody birthday.
Right.
I'd rather have the cash equivalent. I like playing golf. I would hate to have to go to the pub with anybody. If I played golf, I'd probably rather do it on my own. But yeah, for me, I don't like men's activities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the stuff that men seem to do. Poker.
Going to watch the footy.
Cigars, football, rugby, golf.
Yeah.
I just can't be bothered. I'd rather sit on my own and do a jigsaw.
I have had mere thoughts about you.
What, like? Sexy thought?
No. Whether, you know...
What?
Whether it's me you're actually into.
Oh, that kind of thoughts. No, I'm not into anybody.
No, I know that. But yeah, I did have an annoying thing happen.
Go on.
With my nails, right? So she's painting my hand.
Yeah.
And then the feet woman disappears. Now, by this point,
Do
Shelley...
you normally have 2 women on you at once?
Yeah, I do, yeah. It's your dream.
Chance to be a fine thing. All right, go on.
Anyway, so Shelley's pretty much done and my foot lady disappears. And I'm like, what's she doing? Where's she going? So I sort of say to the lady who's doing my nails, is she coming back? And she's like, yeah, she's just looking for... 'cause I asked for matching colours on my feet and hands. She's looking for the same one. All right, okay. She keeps coming back with different shades of pink, and I'm like,
right.
No, I want the same colour as I've got on my hands.
Well, where's the tin that she's using?
Well, exactly. Goes off, she comes back 3 times, different colour pinks. I'm like, no, I don't want a different shade of pink, I want the same one. Yeah, we don't have any more. And I went, can you not just use
that bottle?
the one, because by now she's pretty much finished my nails, my fingers. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that would make sense.
This doesn't sound relaxing to me.
And I'm just like, am I being stupid or what? Like, oh, you want the same... yep, exactly the same colour. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
That was fun.
For what's supposed to be a relaxing time, that doesn't sound relaxing. The cash alternative
I
still
felt
sounds
like
better.
I was being stupid and I felt guilty then. But anyway.
Well, I'm glad you had a nice time.
Yes.
I'll tell you something that's happened to me since coming back. And I've not had a chance to tell you this yet because we've literally had 2 minutes together today. So this is why we're in the car together now. And we've barely spoken over the last 24 hours because of a little tiff yesterday, which I ultimately...
No.
What am I going to say?
You're going to say
dickhead?
that you won.
I didn't win. What I ultimately think I was initially right about. It's not about winning and losing. We lost a day of relationship because if we get into the nitty-gritty of it, I was right. Anyway, what I want to say about that is we've had a few rows since getting back and something really weird started happening. My libido. My libido seems to be syncing up with when we're not talking. Now, is that my body saying, go and have an affair?
Right. Because it's funny because mine does the opposite.
Isn't that weird?
When you're peeing me off.
I'm not saying like I'm actively ravenous.
What you want is the makeup.
No, it's not even that. No, it's not. I don't want us to be fighting. Like, listen, you can hold a grudge like a new mum holds a baby, right?
Yeah.
You are terrible with holding a grudge. And you don't, you know that old adage, never go to bed on an argument? You don't play that role. And it was really annoying. As I said, I think ultimately, I was on the side of right in this thing, but, you know, in an argument, you don't decide that till the end. However, we barely spoke yesterday, we barely spoke last night, went to bed without speaking. I felt so sad overnight. I got up and got ready this morning feeling really sad. I had a shower, I thought I'm going to pick myself up, start the day properly. Came back, got into bed, give you a cuddle. It was like cuddling one of them concrete men in a church with it holding the sword. You know, and I thought I'll get a few minutes, and I gave it a few minutes, holding you, nothing. And I thought, right, bugger her. So, I mean, I didn't do that.
It sounds like you wanted to.
And
though.
I got up and went to work, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you when I got home today, like, we didn't need to carry on the no talking last night. And I'd said to you, at the crescendo of the argument, I had to go out and fetch our eldest from school. Well, the eldest we've got here at the minute, honey. And I said to you, and I don't want this carried on when I get back. I don't want it ruining Leicester night. And you pulled an ultimate Laura move. This is the ultimate Laura move, everybody. You cooked dinner, which was halloumi burgers and homemade chips, proper chips, which I wanted to do chip advisor on, and we didn't because you weren't talking to me. And then when I come home, I'm faffing about getting out of the car. I come in the house, honey's in the kitchen making herself getting the dinner on the plate, and I'm like, where's your mum? Upstairs. And I'm like, is she? And she goes, oh, I don't think she's eating. That's what you do. You make the food, but then you go upstairs like, the food's there, I am too miffed to eat. I'm too miffed to eat. Don't even bother. So I come upstairs and I'm like, look, don't let me. I said, come on, do this. There she is, concrete church man. It's not saying a word to me. And I'm like, I'm starving. I'm not wasting this food. I've been looking right forward to it. You'd overdone the halloumi, by the way.
No, I hadn't.
Oh, it was overdone.
I hadn't overdone it.
Like shoe leather.
What the problem was, is because it had been in the oven for 20 minutes waiting for you, keeping warm.
So, didn't get to eat with you last night, but I'm thinking, come downstairs and make up, and then we can make up properly. You know, and I'm not talking about makeup sex. But I'm just saying the vibe were there, and you're the one always moaning that the vibe's not there. So, and I'm going to tell you that today.
So you're saying I missed a chance?
Chance might still be there. No. So that's that really. It's hot.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think we have to stop doing it because you keep wanting to talk about it on here. I don't want people to know about that.
No. We don't talk about it at all. What did we talk about it last time for? We talked about it last time and we only briefly, we didn't go on about it as much as we'd gone on about it on the Lost recording because we'd gone to bed at 5, 6 o'clock.
And the fire.
And it were brilliant.
Sweet love by the fire.
I'm going to talk about that. That's been a running joke through our relationship that if we ever have anywhere with an open fireplace, you've always said, when we have an open fire, are you going to make love to me by the fire, like sweet love to me by the fireside, right? And there was a part 2 to that, which involved one of your fingers. That's never going to happen. That's a closed door. That ship has sailed. So yeah.
Should we finish there?
I think so. We've done about half an hour, haven't we, I reckon?
Yeah. I've got one last question. Zebra crossings. Do you stop at zebra crossings?
Yes, every time.
In the UK and Dubai? Or both?
In Dubai, in the UK it's legal, so you've got to.
Yeah, do you stop?
But here I always do.
Yeah.
However, they sometimes tell you that you're not supposed to.
Is that right?
Because so many people here don't, that when you stop at a zebra crossing, it's law to stop, by the way. But
is it law here?
Yeah, I think so. So if you stop at a zebra crossing, the guy behind you, he's just driving along on his phone, way.
Or the guy coming the opposite way doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So you're putting the person crossing the road in danger. Yeah. I literally have that fear every time here that the person behind me is going to go up my bottom, and then the other person's not going to stop, so they're going to. Yeah. But I've noticed the difference being in the UK to here.
I always stop, regardless. And I like it when I stop and there's like an old lady crossing here or somebody on a scooter or some kids and the guy behind me starts pipping.
And then do you do the fast walk if you're the person crossing? I do. Fast walk and the quick wave. Don't not get in the wave. You
do a thing like you're going to set off running, but you don't run. You do the arms, but the legs are still walking.
Well, it's annoying when somebody who can probably walk at a normal pace, I'm not talking about an elderly person, decides to just do the slow walk. That annoys
happened
me.
The other day, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I'd stopped to let somebody cross and it wasn't a crossing.
Yeah.
But they would have never got across the road and I stopped to let them.
You've got to do the little jog.
And it was a man and a woman pushing a pram and she walked like a snail.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she did me head in. At that point, I just want to knock it into drive and knock them over. And again, earlier on in this I mentioned smacking the kids. I've never done that. And now I've never knocked anybody over. Although I once almost knocked a fat lass down in Newcastle. I'd just come out of the airport and this crossing rule that you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was a crossing right outside the airport.
Yeah.
I was just in the hire car. I didn't know what side of the road to be on. She started on the crossing and I didn't even see the zebra crossing. I was crossing it.
Oh my God.
She turned out some language.
I bet she did.
You know when you can hear it in car? How man, you effing the effing that man, you nearly killed us, man, effing. She was like that. Got a recommendation for you.
Go on then.
And this is for you, but also for everybody listening. Alan Davies, the curly-haired guy who used to be in Jonathan Creek.
Yeah.
Right. I never liked Alan Davies.
See, I always have.
Because I hated his hair, even though my hair was very similar back then.
See, I'm a fan of the long curly hair.
And then, on QI, which I think I'd like if I watched it, but I've never really watched it that much, right? He kind of plays the daft one. He used to be on with Stephen Fry, who's mad clever, and he kind of played. I thought it was being daft, but he wasn't. He's just been quiet and sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's actually really clever.
we both read his biography.
Yeah.
Just ignore him. That's recommendation number 1, because that book is an amazing book,
Yeah.
and it will, if you like that guy or if you know that guy, it will teach you things about him that you didn't know. It's
Yeah.
a hard listen, that book.
Yeah.
Or we'll listen to the audiobook. It's a brilliant book, so that's recommendation number 1.
Yeah.
He's got a podcast. Everything I've seen him on lately since reading that book, I absolutely love him. He's gone to one of my favourite people in the world. We saw him on Taskmaster. He's brilliant on that.
He's just a
Genuinely great guy.
nice guy, yeah. And I think he's been around so long, he could be one of those celebrities that, you know, is up his own bottom, but he's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, he's brilliant. And his podcast he's got out, he does a football one as well, but the one he's got out is called 7 Pillars.
Okay.
Not pillars on your bed,
Yeah.
pillars like
AR.
columns.
Yeah.
7 Pillars. And it's a little bit like Desert Island Discs.
Okay.
So he gets a guest on and they chat, and he asks them about certain things that have influenced their life at some point. An album, a film, a time in their life, food, a place, a person, things like that. But he's got such a disarming, lovely character, and like you said, so clever, so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
It's not an antagonistic listen.
I like the idea of that because I bet it brings up some conversations.
Well, I've listened to about 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
I've listened to Josh Widdicombe, who I've been listening to Josh and Rob Beckett's podcast anyway, which is brilliant. I've listened to Walton Goggins. Funny name. He's an American actor who you will recognise. He's that guy. He's been in loads of stuff. But he is so interesting. Joe Brand, brilliant.
Yeah.
We love Joe Brand anyway. Ramesh does the first one. And it's real open heart surgery stuff. It's like a lot of emotion. You learn a lot.
Okay.
But then the recommendations. Josh Widdicombe recommended a 20-year-old album today. And he says, it's like folk music. But he says, you know, like Laura Marling and Joni Mitchell, it's not that far out folky because I can't listen to that. And I thought, hold on a minute, that's 2 people I love.
Yeah.
So I thought this might be up my street. It's a Norwegian band. They're called Kings of Convenience.
Okay.
And the album I've been listening to is called Quiet is the New Loud. So good. Really Scandi folk, you know, like Scandinavian accents. You might find it a bit twee. I absolutely love it.
Okay.
But the recommendations, the film recommendations are always great. There's a list of films I want to watch now.
Why don't you get the 7 things, the 7 pillars?
Test it on you.
And then we do it on each other.
Let's do it on each other as a tribute to Alan Davis.
Yeah.
I tweeted about it today. Only Alan Davis has replied.
Oh, you love a
Thanks.
celebrity
I love a
tweet.
celebrity reply.
Always.
Yeah, but I'm on Twitter. I'm a celebrity because I've got the blue tick.
Blue tick.
So
yeah.
other celebrities must look and go, I'll reply to this guy. I don't know why.
You're one of Deborah Meaden's favourites, aren't you?
Well, Deborah Meaden I was one of her first. When she first got
a lot
on
of
Twitter,
people's first, to be fair.
I'm widely regarded as the first tweeter in Dubai. It was in a newspaper article, right?
Yeah.
So I was very early on Twitter. And when Deborah Meaden got on Twitter, she didn't know how it worked. And I just tweeted her for a laugh. And I didn't think she realised at that point that you didn't have to reply to everybody. So we ended up having a big conversation.
Yeah.
And now, every now and then, I'll just drop her a tweet and she's like, oh, not heard from me for ages. Lovely, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of a fancy. I mean, I don't fancy her, but she's a multi-millionaire now. I could run off with her.
Be my guest.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I could, because I'd only be marrying her for money. And to keep it Dragon's Den, I could drop my trousers in bedroom and go, I'll give you 50% for $1 million dirhams. Anyway.
She'd run.
Alan Davies, 7 Pillars.
Okay.
If you want a good listen, a really interesting listen, you won't know half the people, but you'll love them. And I'm listening to one with an American poet at the minute. I've never heard of the guy. Walton Goggins, such an interesting man. really delves. I didn't know Romesh Ranganathan, his dad, were in prison.
No.
All this comes out. It's a really good listen. So that's my recommendation. We're going to go because I am dripping with sweat, and I think
Once
you are
again.
as well. You've done some miming of a fringes are getting fuzzy. Hope this one was a little bit more upbeat. Your opinion?
I'm happier. Yeah.
You're a bit happier?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like to make people miserable.
Well, look, as I said about the working class mental health issues,
Yeah. Oh.
I don't think working class people talk about it like they should, and I don't like talking about it. And like you, I didn't like the last podcast, and I didn't. But I've put it out, and I think what people should know is that's always there. Like in my life, it just at different levels at different times. It's always there,
Yeah.
right? And it's your fault.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's never your fault. Yesterday was.
Well,
But-
I beg to differ. But anyway, right.
Yeah, so thanks a lot. Thanks for listening to episode 54. There'll be links to everything in the description, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
The end.